Great. So actually this is great too, because then you can give us a little clarity into what we're looking at as we look at the student work. And just to be totally transparent, I am filming because we're trying to find an exemplar of some 18 member using work at the end of their walkthrough. So shout out to me, my favorite kind of shout out. Tell us what you did tell us how you had kids use these notes today.
Okay.
These notes.
So first I had them list out the details that they need for background information. So
Great.
that was their title of the book, author, and then a few details that they know about Jayla.
Great.
They came up with 6, or she loves to read. Some of them said that she's greedy. Great. Same thing with Alice. Book, author, Alice is a little girl, she's curious. A lot of them had the same one for that one. And then for this one, they came up with their own details about Jayla and the wolves and how they knew she had magical events.
Beautiful.
Same with Alice in Wonderland, how they knew these were magical events.
Swell. So kids prep these outlines in order for them to type.
Yes.
Great. What do you want us to look at? The outlines or the student writing?
I'm gonna say outlines because student writing.
This was a first attempt.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. And then they used that. Then they.
Yeah, because they started today. Tulane was already had it on the paper.
Got it.
I almost feel like, not to contradict you, I almost feel like I want to look at the writing because like a lot of them from what we saw had like really good writing, particularly their, as we told you in their focus statements. I think, is that okay?
Gotcha.
It's up to you.
We do that.
Yeah, all right.
It's up to you.
So let's sort that.
Great.
A lot of these will not have names because they don't listen to me.
So everyone's going to take a pile.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you some.
Thank you. I think in particular I'm curious about our focus kids.
Yep.
And actually I have.
So Darren is 1.
Yeah, I knew that Darren was going to be Darren, Caden, Agiani, Casey, Maria.
Perfect. So if you have them, just throw theirs in the middle.
Gotcha. And I have Casey.
Great. What's AL?
Almost.
Got it. Should I put, can I do that too?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
GI got it. Not yet NY.
Thanks. Jayla and the Wolves. Jayla got transported to a new something, and yep, and she turned into a wolf. Humans don't just turn into wolves. Yep.
There you go.
You got it.
Hey, baby, put it right there. Just right there next to my table.
Is this one of our focus kids? No, this is a got it.
It's just
What, I think I just confused myself. This is the got it pile. This is our focus kids. Almost,
yeah.
not yet. Got it. It's great. What high level trend did we start to see?
Unclear focus statements. Like they would talk about one character, and we had just talked about that because I think y'all saw it in Tulane as well. But just talking about one character and not both characters.
Yep.
And that they would already blend in with the P2, which is Jayla has magical events because she has magical mirror. Just a lot of blending between P1 and P2.
What about you?
Similar. Partial focus statement and the organization. Most of them are talking about both texts in both paragraphs instead of just like talking about Alice in one and Jill in the other.
So there's a little bit of structure here. Or actually a lot of bit of structure here.
Yeah.
And then this idea of like incomplete responses to the prompt in the focus statement. What's interesting is I noticed in our got it's, it really was like reading that example that I just read out loud, our got it's have some really great analysis. And so that for me was what distinguished the got it's from the almost. What I'm also noticing is within our focus kids, the 3 focus kids whose names are on their paper for what it's worth, because I'm sure that rest of them, there's 2 more in here that we're just not sure, are almosts. What makes them almost? And I would argue that we have 2 different things here, so take a minute.
The focus statement differences? Or are you just talking about the difference between the almost?
Yeah, because I actually thought their focus statements were fine, our focus kids.
I think evidence.
Yes, why?
Well, because like, for example, for Darren, he has actually, I think, a pretty good focus statement.
Yeah.
Really good focus statement. But then kind of going to what we're talking about in terms of the structural aspects, it's like he really is only giving like one piece of evidence.
And they wrote 3 on their outline.
And Ms. Hughes, you weren't here when we had the pre-conversation, but we talked about going into this classroom that we were concerned about kids' ability to use 2 texts to write an essay. I think this is a really good example of how that is something that still needs work. Ms. Hughes, why do you think that is?
Mine would just be very surface level. That is just too much for them to try to talk about 2 at the same time. If this one text is much easier for them. But I don't know the deeper reason for why.
I think I'm
Do
No.
you have any other thoughts? Yeah.
Also, I think, yeah, it's for, in my brain, it's more of a structural thing. So like, it's easier for them to remember like, I need 3 pieces of evidence for this text, I need 3 pieces of evidence for this text, and be able to give enough evidence to lead into their analysis for each paragraph.
I think Maria's is a bit stronger than Darren and Caden's. Kaysen, sorry.
She's consistent with strong evidence.
Great. What do you notice Maria is doing that these 2 friends aren't doing?
I think she delves more deeper into why these things are actually magical instead of just throwing the evidence in our face like Darren or Kaysen.
I think at the end of the day too, Maria just has more volume than Caden and Darren. I'm not convinced that Darren and Kaysen, sorry, because Caden is one of our focus kids, but we don't have his paper in front of us. Darren and Kaysen don't know what made Alice magical. It's just not on their paper. And that really is the biggest contrast here between these 3 works, is like, Maria's got 3 really clear paragraphs. My friends here have 2 or 1 paragraph. I don't think, I forget which one. One of them really only has an intro. The other friend only talked about Jayla. So what does that tell you kids need for tomorrow?
For tomorrow, clear explanation on the structure. For instance, what's gonna be included in paragraph 2.
Great.
What's included in paragraph 1, what's included in paragraph 3.
Great.
And then also emphasizing that they need 3 pieces of evidence for each character in those other 2 paragraphs.
Great. And then what are you gonna circulate and monitor for tomorrow?
Circulate for if they're actually explaining how they know it's magical, right? Because I feel like not even just with the almost with the not yes as well, they didn't really know how is this magical.
That is gonna be your like 2.0 action step. Keep it aligned to what you just said. You're gonna tell them. So then what are you gonna go look for?
What did I just say?
You tell them that you're gonna review, hey, when we write an essay, we have 3 clear paragraphs. Most of you have really great intro paragraphs. Some of you have really strong second paragraphs, proof paragraph 1.
Mm-hmm.
Most of us need more work with proof paragraph 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, proof paragraph 2, paragraph 3.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're gonna say, today I'm coming to see, what are you gonna be looking for?
Today I'm coming to see if you have evidence, enough evidence
Yep.
that shows that Jayla and Alice had magical events that happened.
Yes. I think explicitly tomorrow, sorry, I'm doing your job. I'm gonna actually put it on you. So what should you and Ms. Hughes be looking for tomorrow in students' work that we don't yet see?
So tomorrow, we should be looking for in proof paragraph 2 and in proof paragraph, paragraph 2 and 1 and 2, evidence, at least 3 pieces of evidence in each paragraph that supports that they have magical experiences. The other thing is, I think you emphasize this in, so to see, is making sure we emphasize to them, I almost feel like we show call narrative. And say, hey,
Ooh, interesting.
Hey, remember our first proof paragraph should be about this text. Our second proof paragraph should be about this text. How could we fix this minutely, 5 minutes or less, and then have them go back and identify and do that with their own essay.
Okay.
Sound good?
If we do that, what should we expect to see change with student work?
We should expect them to mainly focus that first paragraph on Jayla.
Great.
Instead of blending it with Alice and
And what else?
more evidence.
Yes. Beautiful. Tomorrow, we should see complete essays, and kids will have written about both texts.
Yes. Indeed.
Awesome.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, France,
About to be ready
thank
for
you. Thanks for letting me film that.